drive-in movie.
Let me refresh. You said you got the link?
I need a link. Bill, live from Bill Nye the Science Guy's lab.
Questionable experiments going on.
We are live from Ichiraku Ramen.
Yes, from the village hidden in the leaf.
Otherwise known as Konehagekur. That's what we call it around here. All right.
That's just if you don't know, you don't know. It's fine.
We're here in
live.
Konoha.
We're live from the Konoha Library.
Sakura, no, I will not come home with you tonight. Chill.
Yes, I know I beat Sasuke's ass last week, but I'm not going to take your wife, okay?
Sorry, guys.
What? You want to have a threesome with Tamari? Man, I couldn't even take that on the best day of the week.
Yeah, sorry, guys. These two trash cans we're talking to you real quick. It's so weird.
What? Wait, podcast Discord. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Did you know?
Jake's introing, anyways.
What's going on, guys? Back on the Anime Riff Podcast, episode 15. What's the quick math? Like 5 months.
5 months, maybe.
5 months. We're almost 6 months deep.
Probably
Probably the
6 deep.
second biggest podcast. Barely beat out. Who's our boy? What's his name? See, so irrelevant. I forgot his name.
Nick.
No. The guy who does like the MMA stuff.
Joe Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan, the Experience. Yeah. He came down number 3. We had to take a spot. Guys, we actually got quite a list today, right?
I think we got a lot. List.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of intro was that? Just say you didn't even introduce us.
Oh yeah. Jake, Frozen, Ox, your boys. They've been here long enough. They know who it is. Frozen, how are we feeling today?
We're feeling good. Like we're pushing boundaries. All right. I'm so stoked that we're on episode 15. I can't believe, how long and how much we've developed from episode 1. I go back and listen to episode 1 and I'm like, holy cow, how far we have come, how the turns have tabled for us. All right. Like, I mean, I feel like we're going to get the call any day now to be like, oh, wait, hold on. My phone's ringing. Hold on.
I mean, you're LCS, the Ron Burgundy of anime podcast.
LCS, we'll come and do it live. All right, we will.
Is it them again?
Yeah.
I know. That's the 5th time this week.
I know. They won't stop bugging us. They're like, you got to get on here.
They say Captain Flowers is getting old. He's outdated.
Yeah.
We need some fresh blood in there.
Okay. I'll take it, but I can't take no disrespect against Captain Flowers. Okay.
I'm sorry, Captain Flowers. I'm sorry, Captain.
Now, of course, I have to say, with us doing episode 15, now that we are live, people need to expect that there might be a few hiccups, along the way. We apologize for any coarse language or anything that gets talked about that might be a little tad offensive. Keep in mind, this is new for us. With that being said, we will try to watch as many different, chats and other, various things that you guys could say while we're live, and we'll try to address it. Keep in mind, this is all going into a podcast. So next Tuesday, when it goes live, then you'll understand it'll, it's a podcast at the essence of it. So if we're not exactly addressing everything that people are saying live, just keep in mind you are watching a recording of a podcast. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is going to lead to more great, wonderful things for us. And yeah, let's kick it off. Let's have some fun. This is what we do.
So we already
sorry.
know what we got to get into first, and that's Jake's discretions from last episode.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, listen.
I'm
I
excited.
apologize. How many times do I have to apologize for things on this podcast?
I mean, he's still teary-eyed.
I feel like the girl from A Silent Voice over here apologizing for everybody else, just being a burden in lives. But you suggested it to us. What was your first thoughts, and what made you think that we would enjoy it? I guess.
I guess I went off of this on a whim, just on seeing random things I saw, and I said, okay, I went through the list I had. I said, I'm gonna pick something, and I want to finally watch a movie, and that's what I picked. And when I sat back and watched it, and like running through all the emotions that you get, and I think you've offered me all the slice of life animes that I got into, and I never was into that realm, and I was like, oh, I know Jake's gonna love this.
Yeah.
And then knowing that Andrew was into it after he watched My Dress Up Darling, I was like, oh, he's going to also love this. At first, I wanted you guys to watch, like, I was going to pick the worst anime of all time. Like, I really was. Just to troll you
Ranger
guys
Peace?
so bad. No, buddy, come on now. You're ridiculous. You're probably One Piece. No, I'm kidding. But I was like, you know what? I want to give them something great to watch because so far, outside of Cabinet the Iron Fortress, I'm giving you guys bangers, okay? And I just wanted to keep
You
it
gave
up.
us 86, okay? Which granted was a banger, but your shot rate's 66%.
Okay, this is crazy.
I mean, it's a good one. That's for sure.
Frozen. All right, Alex, what was your biggest takeaway from it?
What was my biggest takeaway from A Silent Voice? Okay.
Mhm.
So, one, nobody prepared me for what this anime was going to be. I have to say, it was just absolutely phenomenal in every way possible. So, in the beginning, it kind of clustered a lot of thoughts together, and they kind of progressed it a little fast. But overall, the way that it came together, and again with the huge moment you have at about that 3/4 mark, that kind of builds to the end of the story. Just everything together made it probably the greatest anime movie I've ever watched, and that's
Mhm.
including like bangers like Spirited Away.
Mhm.
Like this was probably the best anime movie I've ever watched. I mean, it's normal life. I think that was one of the biggest critics I had for it was that, or critiques that I had for it was that this wasn't super powered beings, ninjas, anything that was, larger than life or, gods and demons. It was life. It was everyday life.
Mhm.
And just how one perception, especially in today's society with the way people are bullied and people with disabilities are bullied, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting when I thought it was going to be an anime movie coming from Ox. I was like, okay, we're going to be in for some fighting, some demon killing, stuff like this. And then the music and the way it was, it almost hooks you in. And that's a bit of a long one. Like it's a little close to 2 hours or a little over 2 hours. But it hooks you. It does not feel like you're watching a movie for 2 hours. Like you're in it. You're deep in it to figure out how this ends. And at the end of it, you're left going, I need to know if there's more to this. What happens? Like it's so open-ended that you can almost create your own ending to it and feel good about it because there's no concrete, they get together. There's no concrete, they don't get together. You're not even sure the friend group's going to stay together. You just know that things work out. And you see like the people that have changed so much, like the main character, and you see people that don't change at all. That the actual events that happen don't change that character at all. So I think the character development in A Silent Voice is just masterclass because it's almost everything you need to see. It's not like everyone is developing, everyone changes their mind, they feel sorry. That's not it at all. there are some people that are still stuck in their ways. And I think that's just so true to normal life. Some people will stay the way they are. Some people will adapt and change. But just overall, like, it was great. It was a good tearjerker. Again, totally did not see what happened coming. I love that they kind of hint at the fact that the sister takes pictures, and you're not sure. At first, you're like, why are the pictures, the way they are? And then when it all comes together, it's like having all these little pieces floating in the air attached by little webs, and then all of a sudden the picture just slams together, and you're like, what? Okay.
And her new pictures. Did
I
y'all
need
notice
to-
like she started taking new pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, hold on a second. I need to collect myself. Let me
Yeah.
scrape myself off the floor here because I can't believe what just happened. And then even right until the very end, they don't tell you whether or not it's going to be a good ending or a bad ending. They just leave you in the end. They're like, you're going to watch all 2 hours of this because you want to know what happens. You're just- it's great. I don't have better things to say about it. I think everything about it was fantastic. So,
And now there's another movie that we definitely have to watch because it's 2 movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one Jake sent in our chat the other day where you can watch either one first, and you get, and the other one's the ending to the previous.
I've been
So,
seeing
yeah.
I've been seeing that one. So here was my suggestion. Hear me out. Call me crazy. There's 3 of us. There's 2 endings. We have to watch different ones. So
Yeah.
one of us has got to be tasked to watch one of them, the other one, the other, and then we'll we'll roll swap it and then go from there. And then we'll talk about it because I think that's going to be the best way to do that.
Just to prep people, it might get loud for a second, guys. I'm sorry. It's to every you I've loved before, and the other one's to me, the one who loved you. Is the 2 movies.
I heard if you watch
yes.
them both at the same time, it reveals a 3rd ending.
You're lying. You're capping. That's
Buddy, I'm not
impossible.
capping, buddy.
Alright.
I'm telling you.
Ox, you watch both of them at the same time and let us know what happens.
Oh, hey, dude, I got this. All right, I'm on it. But we should definitely watch that next.
I'm down. I'm down to climb that. And
Yeah,
then
I think we should do that.
I might ruin a slight tidbit of information here, but I have to talk about it. The grandma, when she did her thing, did anyone else think it was the girl in that moment?
No.
For a second, I was like, no way they did it this early. I was like, no way. I was like, these fucking bitches, because she was the younger sister was crying at the river, right? And I was like, oh, they done pissed me off an hour through this movie. And then then I read the sign, and I was like, oh, it's even worse now. I confirmed. And then when it actually showed the picture of the grandma, I was very relieved. I've never thought I'd say I was relieved about something like that, but it was very relieving knowing it was her.
Yeah.
But
And the reason we're being so vague is because we don't want to take away from people that might go and watch A Silent Voice. I mean, our object is not here to spoil animes for you. Obviously, we recap them and talk about them. There will be some spoilers in this podcast.
We spoil
but we won't
but-
spoil this one for you because it's a treat. And,
Pause and come back after you watch it.
Usually mainstream stuff we'll spoil because we're trying to like give our opinions as it happens, so it's hard not to.
Yeah.
But if you watch it and then come back and listen, you will understand 100% what we're talking about.
Yeah, it'll all make sense. Trust me, you'll go back and be like, oh, I remember Frozen Ox and Jake talking about this, about the, all the ideas in the web comes together, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, and you're gonna be like, thank you.
And don't graze over the fireworks scene. Like that was
Never.
the biggest turning point. Frozen last week was like, oh, the fireworks scene is good. I was like, oh, a classic lovey-dovey fireworks scene. Don't graze over the fireworks
Don't
scene.
even, don't you dare. Don't you dare graze over those fireworks. All right,
Yeah.
they're magical.
Mm.
And it's crazy because what put that on my list was the fact is I saw the ending in the TikTok, kind of like all I saw was the balcony scene, and I was like, what's happening?
the firework balcony scene or the one where they're all
Um,
standing, like them two are standing on the balcony?
when they're standing on the balcony.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was
I was
like,
about to say, ruin the whole turning point for yourself.
yeah,
Don't worry
yeah.
about the turning point.
And I was just like, let me add this to the list.
Yeah. Good fucking choice, Alex.
I know. I'm here.
Yeah, it was a great one. I can't wait for our next opportunity to
Bet on something.
gamble with anime, because that's what we do apparently. Oh man, that was definitely a good one. So for those that haven't watched before or listened before, next we're going to talk about some mainstream anime that's happening right now. Stuff that you'll find on Crunchyroll, or you might even be reading the manga for it. It is current. It is up to date. We will try not to spoil as much as possible. I know I'll be doing my best not to, because just in case one of us isn't updated on the episodes. But keep in mind, it will be current to what's happening. Every 3 episodes, we recap some of the animes, just as to not talk about it episode by episode, because that would get kind of dull after a while. So usually last week, we recapped Vinland Saga and where we are right now with that. Blue Lock is currently on a break, so we had to find something new to watch, which I believe we have, and then that was the Ancient Magus Bride. Right.
Well, Hell's Paradise is our recap.
And that's right. Hell's Paradise will be a recap as well for us. But yeah, so right now what we're going to talk about is just more streamlined anime that's happening right now. Most importantly is Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer just recently kicked off its newest season. For those that didn't catch the movie in the theaters, that was pretty much the entire first episode. A lot of people were upset about it. Some not so much. If you did happen to catch it in the theaters, that was pretty much the entire first episode of the new season. Talking about that a bit, I think that they kind of picked up and understood the natural progression of Demon Slayer just moving a little too slow. We've talked about bad pacing, and this was definitely one of them, because I find there isn't a lot of filler in Demon Slayer because it all contributes to the main story. But it does suffer from bad pacing. The Mugen Train arc was, could have been a few episodes shorter. But then again, who doesn't love Rengoku shouting tasty? And then the Entertainment District could have been about 9 episodes shorter, because that was just very long and very drawn out. And really, it was only about 4 episodes of demon fighting. And we can't forget Muscles Mice. Muscles. All right. But
Stupid fucking mice.
the Muscles Mice were the greatest.
Ox is a demon hater.
If I had a little pop up right now for our live show of just the muscles, all right, like I would. I'm going to the next festival I go to as a Muscles mouse.
Oh my goodness.
Muscles. I guess. Oh man, that was way too flashy of an entrance for them. For those who've watched Demon Slayer, you get everything I just talked about. I will say this is still one of the prettiest animes on the planet. Even if you don't like it, if you think it's just, passe or it's mainstream, you cannot deny that it is the sharpest looking anime. When they whip out the abilities, it's clean. It's wild. Like, it takes up the whole screen, 4K, fire, wind, water. It's like lightning. It's electric.
What are you doing? The Avatar Last Airbender intro right there?
Right? Like, it's wild. But it introduced us right in the first beginning, and this one is like the Sword Village arc is what it's called. And obviously we have seen Tanjiro break yet another sword in the Entertainment District arc, and he needs a new one, but his sword master is missing, and so he is tasked with going to the swordsman village where they forge the swords for the demon slayers. Now he's got to be blindfolded and tied up and deafened, because the village is a secret that they don't want the demons to know about, because if the demons strike there, then the demon slayers will not have weapons to be able to fight back with. At the same time, all of the demons that are left in the upper echelons have been summoned to the Infinity Castle, as it's known, by I just forgot his name. Lord.
Mozambique.
Oh my
what?
God.
Don't say Mozambique.
Muzan.
Yeah,
Michael
Lord
Jackson.
Muzan.
Let's call it what it
Um,
is. Michael Jackson summoned him to the Infinity
Yeah,
Castle.
Michael Jackson summoned him to the Infinity Castle.
Wait, what's Michael
And
Jackson's thing called? The Play Ranch
It's,
or
it's
whatever?
Lord Muzan. And so there we see upper 6 through 1. Now Tanjiro killed 6. So
Mhm.
sorry, you see 5 up. And their concern is now a demon slayer for the first time in hundreds and hundreds of years has now killed an upper demon. And if anyone watched Entertainment District Fight, you know that the upper demons are super, super strong with really ridiculous abilities. And it's not just as simple as beheading them to get rid of them. We also are reintroduced to the upper 3rd, who is the same one that defeated Rengoku. Too soon, rest in peace. And
Yeah, Kazuha, he's got a chip on his shoulder too, doesn't he? Like
Yeah.
he's just always mad. Like he was
He's
pretty
mad.
chipper
well, I mean,
when
he's,
against Rengoku and all those guys, but now he's just like
he's mad
Yes.
because he almost lost for 1, and 2, it's almost a sin for demons to run away. And he
Mhm.
had to run. He had no
Yeah.
choice, or he was not going to live.
Well, see, and I think that he was like, I think he was playing around a lot with Rengoku. I think he could have just solo bowled him really quickly if he wanted to.
For sure.
But
Um,
but I think he. What was it? That interaction between him and Muzan they had, and then he just kind of got put in his place, and then ever since then he's just been just chip on his shoulder. He just knocks that dude's jaw sideways every chance he sees him.
But most importantly, what we're introduced to is the upper 1. And the upper 1 is a character that, if you've watched the flashbacks, looks spot on like either Tanjiro's father or Tanjiro's brother. Either way, they have the long red hair and identical scar. Now, we get to see his face for the first time. He's a 6-eyed demon. And it's pretty crazy to see what he looks like in person. Now, he does wield a sword that looks really similar to Tanjiro's. He is a very in order kind of person. He's a very stick by the rules, respect the rules. This is the ranking of demons, so on and so forth. But the whole point of the meeting was that now the demons need to strike back. And so the demons are sent off on their merry way, tasked with a mission. You see the upper 1st disappear, but you don't know what his mission is. And the 5th, 4th, and 3rd are tasked with going off and figuring something out with the Hashiras. Word has spread that Tanjiro has killed an upper demon, and he was in a 2-month coma. He recovers. He's better off. He's doing well, and he goes to the Village of the Swords. Now, he does this for the first time without Renosuke, which, by the way, greatest character in the show.
Oh yeah, Inosuke.
Inosuke, not Renosuke. And is it Zangetsu?
Yeah, terrible guy.
Yeah. I was tolerable of him because in the Entertainment District, he was asleep and he actually did some damage. But I cannot stand this character in normal. But either way, Tanjiro's in the village, and this village has now been attacked by the upper 5th and the upper 4th demon.
Mhm.
So now Tanjiro is engaged in the battle with one of the other Hashiras. I believe it's the Wind Hashira, and they have now engaged the upper 4th, and the upper 5th is now fighting another lower swordsman in the village. So they've both attacked this village at the same time. That's pretty much where we've left it off, is that Tanjiro has found an ancient weapon in a fighting dummy a very, very ancient 200-year-old sword that is now being fixed for him while he's using a new sword. So we'll see what happens. Maybe this ancient sword is the key to, beating some of these demons. But again, the fighting's kind of happened right away. We're not waiting 9 episodes before we found the demon and identified the demon. The demons have struck first. And now they've taken the fight right to it. And so it's a matter of time, I guess, because I can't imagine. I know Tanjiro is strong, and I know we talked about power scaling in anime, but the power scaling in Demon Slayer is insanity. Like, there is no way on Earth that Tanjiro can fight the upper fifth, or even the upper fourth for that matter, because he just barely, with the help of 5 other people, with the help of 5 other people, did they kill the upper sixth. There's no way he beats the upper fourth.
Yeah,
And
he has done no
fourth-
training since.
Yeah,
right?
and the upper
But he has
upper
hacks.
fourth's ability is that every single time you cut off the upper fourth's head, the head grows a body and the body grows a head, and he multiplies. So he wants you to kill him. His vital spot is not beheading him. If you behead him, he will then turn into more of him. So I think they're up to, like, they figured it out now, and there's 4 of him. So now they've got to fight 4 people with that power. But
Yeah.
the thing is, as we noticed from the entertainment arc, you have to kill them at the same time. You can't. It's like a WoW boss. You can't kill them individually. You have to kill them all at the same time. So
Yeah.
it'll be really interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, I think it's just going to come down to him possibly making a breakthrough, right? Like, he made a little bit of that in the entertainment district when he, kind of combined his 2 styles. And then, at first, he held his breath for, like, the sun breathing stuff. Then he kind of combined them. And hopefully, if anything comes from the sword he found, it's just the fact that a weapon can handle the style that he uses.
Yeah.
So
Like,
maybe he has some huge breakthrough that pushes him past his limits and lets him be able to defeat these guys.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Well, that or we're gonna have some more Hashira show up because, like, there's just I can't see it. I can't see the power scaling. It would be off-putting to me if Tanjiro managed to do it. Because right at the beginning of the 4th fight, when the level 4 or the upper 4 Hashira appears in the village, the wind Hashira is there with them, and basically he backhands the Hashira across the planet, like to the next galaxy, and now it's just him and Tanjiro. That was just him arriving on the scene. So I can't see where Tanjiro is going to fight this guy and win.
It's gonna be
Tanjiro,
tough.
He has sun breathing hacks though,
Hey,
so
I'll tell you.
I think it's gonna be.
Hey, I'll tell you what's gonna happen. Askeladd's gonna come. His ghost's gonna come out of nowhere, put his hand on his shoulder, and my man's gonna take a different kind of stance, and it's gonna be over.
But a Villain Saga, I don't know if we should talk about it, but just because the recap episode. But
No, we're not in a
the-
recap episode. We're not.
The
But it was-
direction
Uh-huh.
it's going in is going to be insane, guys. Watch
Yeah.
Vinland Saga. If you haven't watched any of it, watch it all,
Yeah.
and then catch up to like current because the next 2 episodes are going to be crazy.
Yeah,
I melted in my seat after that last episode.
Right.
It was
was
too
great.
much to handle.
It was fantastic.
Oh my
So-
god.
The direction Vinland Saga is going in is going to be crazy, guys. Watch it, catch up on it, so that next week or not next week after next, when we talk about it, like we're all on the same page here.
You guys will
Um,
enjoy it. Trust us. We're not going to suggest bad animes to you. We got
no, we
you.
would never.
We're here for you. Don't worry.
This is
Unless
the-
you're Jake. And
the
you
Iron
wanna-
Fortress season 2.
Oh, an
okay?
in the Iron Fortress.
Okay, that was better than a reincarnation of a
yeah.
homeless
The strongest exorcist.
Hey,
Homeless-
that
homeless.
wasn't even the
Okay.
worst one. All right.
Ox had a couple fun little things that we could do today
Oh yes.
before we end the anime. Anime best friends. So this is taking any character from anime that you personally would want as a best friend in your life? Ox, since you suggested, let's start with you. Let's see that best friend, dog.
Okay, mine's a pretty good one, but it comes with some drawbacks.
Okay.
I'm going with Sanji.
Okay.
So he
Okay.
can just cook for me all day. I'm just gonna, if he hits on my wife every now and then, as long as he's cooking that good food, man, I think I'm good with it. I think, whatever, it's fine.
Hey, as long as BB don't have 3 eyes, I don't think he's ever been accepted by any woman except her.
Okay,
So,
we're good.
yeah,
We're
you're
good. What about you?
I like it.
Could you just imagine all the cooking?
Okay, so I'm kind of along the same lines as Ox here. I picked Choji to be my best friend.
Y'all just out here abusing your friends. Jesus Christ.
I was like, I'm just gonna go hang out with him, get some barbecue all the time. Like
Dude,
we're gonna just be blessing up with the barbecue
see,
and
us four are gonna be hanging out. Choji eating Sanji's food.
right?
That's gonna be insane.
Like I was along the same lines as I was like, I need a friend who's like not super serious, but at the same time, always reliable. And I was like, Choji's the man. It was gonna be that or Gamakichi. Like it was one of those two.
Gamakichi, what's up, man?
Yeah, exactly.
I like that one. I'll share a
but
bag of
yeah.
potato chips with Choji any day, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is the guy I can sit and watch anime with and hang out and have some snacks. All right?
Mhm.
Like Choji's the man.
Okay. So Ox Ox was talking to me about earlier today. So I had quite a lot of time to think about, especially when they're frozen. And I really think I've decided on Killua. That's just a solid friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So he can kill people for you. Like, what's
Again,
the deal with
okay.
that?
That's
I
what
feel we've got a theme here going with Jake. We got the plates moving.
Mass,
we got,
mass
Oh
murder
my
is
God.
what
Are
he's
you
about.
he's gonna end up on a watch list. Like we're not
Buddy.
gonna be able to travel.
you're telling me Killua's not a solid friend. Everything he did for Go, that's solid friend material.
No, he's a solid friend. But I
That's
mean,
like me picking.
I'm sorry I don't want
Madara.
to abuse my friend for his abilities like
he-
y'all.
and he doesn't. I mean, he just cooks, right? He just cooks. What do you guys want to go do? Go skateboard and yo-yo? Oh,
Hey, but Loki, he said he won't cook for anyone but the Pirate King. So
he'll cook if he wants to eat. When he cooks for himself, I'm there.
my boy's there scouring.
Hey, Luffy's gonna come through, so I'm gonna have a party at my house.
I saw like if One Piece was done in a different or was like a high school animation. Have y'all seen that on TikTok?
Yes.
Oh my
I
god,
haven't.
it's so good.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be
saw-
a gas
I
anime.
saw that. Yeah.
I need to look at. Okay, I appreciate you guys sending this to me because that's
Well,
kind of unethical.
I get
You know?
disrespected every time I send TikToks. Okay?
But
I tried my best to send them all, but I did do you guys the service of sending you like if Naruto was animated by.
Mhm. Yeah,
that
that
was,
was clean. That was
that
if
was
clean.
they
a clean
had
one.
Demon Slayer's budget when
Oh.
Naruto existed, dog.
Oh man, with that would look scary good. Can you imagine a Rasengan or a Chidori with the effects that Demon Slayer has?
Hmm.
Like, oh, I'd be drooling every single time they fought. Like,
One Piece would have stood a chance.
yeah.
But okay, anime best friends. Y'all's are awful. Mine's great.
Nobody here's is you want to kill people.
If
You just don't want to
anyone
admit
that's
it.
What?
in our chat right now are gonna listen, be sure to get over into our Discord or into our chat and let us know who is your anime best friend and why. Why are they your anime best friend? It doesn't have to be friendly. It can be dark, like
Yeah.
like Jake.
And if
Light
and
Yagami.
listen, if Jake has a grudge against anyone listening, watch your back because he's
Watch-
probably coming from you.
He can move tectonic plates, and his best friend's a killer. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out and say it. I mean, at least it wasn't Light Yagami. I mean, because
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is that always y'all's go-to? The last
mean-
time I said something, y'all were like, "At least it's not the Death Note."
yeah, you could probably do some damage with that thing.
All right, what's our next one?
Anime characters you wouldn't want your daughter to bring home.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so this one hits home for Josh and I. Like this one.
Yeah, I don't have
Oh,
a
yeah.
daughter, but I.
All right,
I'll
Peyton,
use
who
my
you bringing-
imaginary.
Who you bringing home? Let's
Yeah,
find
let's,
out.
we'll start with Jake on this one.
All right, Jake.
Who wouldn't I want her to bring home?
Hmm.
I would say Sasuke.
Sasuke. Okay.
Sasuke. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abandonment. That's coming out the rip.
Abandonment.
He left at the prom. Sorry.
He knows the one jutsu that's gone through more females' hearts than anything else
Okay.
in the Naruto universe. And I don't trust eyes like that. You can't trust those eyes.
You can't trust those eyes.
You can't look at a man's eyes and he make you see what you want to see. That's a little fishy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you can never break his heart. He's got the the big protector.
The Susanoo.
Yeah, he's got the big Susanoo.
And like he walks up in your yard, enters arrow in your face, and he's like, "Say something else. I'm taking your daughter home at 12."
Oh yeah.
And you're like, "Yes, sir."
What about you, Andrew? Who you got? I want to hear this. one.
Okay. So, I swear, if Peyton ever brought home like a Zenitsu, oh my god, I would
Or a
be
Mineta from My Hero.
pounding the living crap out of that whiny little wiener. Like if
You think he walks through the door?
anyone that is a whiny little wiener through that door, like like no. I swear I can't even handle players like that. Like I can't even handle
That
characters
is
like
your
that.
anime pet peeve. The
That is
whinies.
it's my biggest anime pet peeve. Why? Even Tanjiro is guilty of it sometimes. He'll be like, after he did this huge move, he'll be falling from the sky and he'll be like, how did I fail, everybody? Why did I fail? Oh my god, my voice is getting progressively higher as I fall to my death. Oh wait, I should probably defend myself.
Maybe I should
It's like-
breathe.
It's like, okay, dude, like you have the skills. Stop. Like you're here for a reason. Oh my
Mm.
god. That was the one thing that was nice about Naruto. Naruto might have been obnoxious, but he never thought he was like weak. You know, he never thought he was just not enough.
Yeah, he always believed in himself.
He always believed in himself. That's who I want coming through the front door. You know?
Believe
I
it.
want a Naruto Uzumaki. Believe it.
Who you got?
Buddy. It's Goku.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
He-
wants a Goku walking through the-
Nobody wants a he's a deadbeat. He can't hold down a fucking job. Dude's 41 years old and he can't hold down a job.
I mean, I think I might just have a problem with the fact that he's 41.
I mean,
That's
just
why
like
didn't say
through,
Jiraiya.
through life in general. I mean, all the dude wants to do is fight. I'm not
Yeah.
about that. Don't want. At first, I was about Eskin Orange because I just don't want to be punked in my own house.
Someone named Brock Bull said in our chat, Zabuza was right.
Zabuza was right.
That was
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
But I couldn't deal with the Goku.
Yeah, I
Couldn't deal
mean,
with the Goku.
that's a planetary destroyer.
Deadbeat dad. Okay, let's be honest about it.
Yeah,
Another-
daddy
ano-
issues right off the
Another
rip.
deadbeat.
Another man raised your first child. Okay. And then on top of that, I mean, he's dumb. He's an idiot.
He dies a lot too.
He
Yeah.
dies a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And then can't hold down a job.
He
Don't want to hold down a job. Can't bring money. My
You're
daughter
a
over
kung
here
fu
working.
fighter? What's
Yeah,
your?
yeah. And then, goes out there, punches the air all day, comes home, will eat everything in the fucking kitchen. I don't think so.
Not to mention, like, when he dies, then your daughter's going to have to do all that work of running across all the clouds to go
Mhm,
resummon them,
mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
all the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Like,
And she's
It's
gonna ask for
annoying.
help. She's gonna ask to
Yeah.
borrow the Tahoe, and you're gonna be like, "I just got the oil change."
you know what?
and
I
gotta
think we
change
just
it
found
again."
someone more useless than Sakura.
Goku.
Goku.
I caught that from the
I mean,
beginning, dog.
Hey,
He's done more training in heaven than he has on Earth.
that's crazy. Hey, look, Sasuke ain't got as much plot armor as that guy. I know we're pissing off.
I know we're making some people really mad.
Yeah, but no, let my daughter bring home a Goku kind of character. You know.
All right,
Oh my
I've
God.
got another chat person that said you should fully embrace whoever your daughter brings home because it's who she likes. But let me
Yeah,
tell you
no.
right now that watch Demon Slayer and you spend 5 seconds with Zenitsu and you tell me you're putting up with that. I'd be like, the hell with what you like. We're going back to the 1700s. I tell you who you date.
You're getting betrothed.
Yeah.
Betrothed on it, baby.
Have
Please.
they
Let me
I think
introduce
Brock
you
is
to my
Tug.
good friend. His name is Payne.
Almighty push. But
This is a man over here playing with dead bodies and stuff. That's cool too.
that's cool. Whatever.
Actually, Ox had a really funny one for that earlier. We were talking about it off the stream. I said, if he opens the door, Payne's got to have the Akatsuki music when you open the door. It's like, this is my boyfriend. Oh man! And then what did you say it was? You didn't want him. You didn't want her bringing home. Oh crap! Who was the
No.
member of the Akatsuki?
Oh, Sorcery. Oh yeah,
Sorcery,
yeah,
yeah.
the Puppet Master.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to hear nothing about that one.
I can see that.
That's a
Tinder
lot of noise.
I could see
coming
that
from that
Tinder
room.
profile though, can't you? I mean, you can see it's like nice hair, easygoing, plays with puppets.
There we go.
One's good. Imagine 100.
Yeah.
Don't need no prosthetic anything. Okay.
Frozen.
Nothing.
Someone said you better come at them correct. They said should, not would.
Oh, should
Totally
not would.
different.
That's true. That's true. I'm sorry. I apologize. Should not would.
But so we actually have a lot of esports stuff coming. Frozen,
Mhm.
this is where you're going to take over. I think-
This one's gonna get a little heavy into the esports and gaming because we had a bit go down. So I'll quickly glaze over Valorant. Valorant has been going on for the North American League right now for, I think it's on its 5th week now. And we've seen the up and downs with Sentinels, and they put together a quote unquote God Squad for their roster and chance at Worlds this year. And they just recently fired their head coach, Psycho. And this week, Tens was actually not in the roster. He didn't play the game. We're still waiting for an official update of what happened there. Now, previous to that, the week before, he did play with an injured, infected hand and with a bunch of other issues that's going on in his life. His fiance recently diagnosed with leukemia. So, as I've said in esports before, a lot of esports is the mental, as it is with a lot of sports, whether it be hockey, football, League of Legends, doesn't matter. The mental is 90% of the game. And I think that a lot of people forget, the mental in all sorts of sports and what that does to people. So Tens was absent from the game this week. And they actually pulled off a really big win when they brought Marved in as the backup. So they had a big win, 2-0 the team they were playing. Still waiting for an official statement to see what's going on with Tens. But it does keep them alive and well, being 2-2 right now in their split, which is really good for them. They play again this week. Not yet known if Tens is going to be back in the roster, but we'll see. Here's hoping. But there's only 2.5 more weeks left. And then we have another big event coming up for Valorant where we'll bring all the teams together again and they'll fight for another trophy and some more money, and then they'll split off into the divisions again. Moving on over to League of Legends, we have the MSI play-ins. This year they added play-ins to MSI,
Yeah, dude, I know. I saw that.
which was pretty exciting. So this coming Tuesday, we're going to see Detonation Focus Me versus PSG Talon, which is Paris. If you guys aren't familiar with the football or soccer team, PSG. Loud, the Brazilian team, will be playing G2 Esports from Europe. And then on Wednesday, we're going to see Movistar R7, which we've seen before at Worlds. They play all right, against Bilibili Gaming, which is the new team in, I think it's Korea. I think it's Bilibili. And then GAM Esports, which is no stranger to MSI or Worlds. They're often counted as the underdog. But they win a lot. They win a lot at international events. They've gotten themselves to the quarterfinals a few times. And they're playing the Golden Guardians. Now, the Golden Guardians, they had a huge run in North America. I am expecting really big things from the Golden Guardians. However, I would be absent-minded if I didn't say that GAM Esports is a big threat.
Yeah.
Because they are unpredictable. They're either going to be really good or they're going to crumble really fast. But those games are happening next week. I'm super excited to watch them.
Mhm.
And
And
then
the last
MSI 's
time
gonna kick off.
Stixay was at MSI, I mean, he almost won it, right?
Yeah.
So,
So MSI is the midseason invitational. For those that don't know, it's like a little prelude to Worlds before we go back into the splits again and start building more points towards Worlds. So super excited to see what happens at MSI. It's always a good kind of indication of where the world powers match up. North America usually doesn't fare too well, but
Mm.
could be different this year.
yeah.
Might
Man,
see something big.
the thing that I always dislike is every single year before MSI, LCS always does some like hype video, and they say the same thing every year. Oh, don't sleep on North America this year.
Yeah.
And
well,
it's like, and you know, I don't know, it gets a little old for me. Like they did it last year with Cloud9, and then Cloud9 flopped, and then they did it this year again, and I'm just like, no, I mean, don't get me wrong, I want North America to do just as good as anybody, but you know, give me the regular hype video. I'm tired of hearing the whole "don't sleep us on us this year. We're coming at you guys," and then you know someone gets 0-3 and they're out of play-ins, and it's
Yeah.
you know.
I'm
But-
hoping we'll see. I mean, we've obviously got Cloud9 in there.
Mhm.
They are statistically never good at world events. But you know, the Maple Leafs also haven't won a Stanley Cup since color photos were invented. So you never know. They might do well. This might be the year.
I
Who
hope they do. I
knows?
mean, they got a solid team. They have an all-star top laner. You know, they have MVP, ADC, and you know, I think if Blabber shows up, the team can do really well. But Blabber normally doesn't show up, and they need him to show up if they want to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a definite win condition. But I think MSI is going to be good this year. I think if you look at the combined talent, even in the play-ins, Brazilian teams have been kind of slowly pushing their way into the league, being more prevalent, getting better and better. So I think maybe we'll even see one of them move outside of the play-ins and into the actual MSI bracket. Who knows? Like it's exciting stuff. It's always a good chance to see these lower tiered teams that are not necessarily from the LCS or the LCK or the LPL. But I like to see the teams from like the LCL or the LCO or the LJL to play well in these play-ins, because they don't get the opportunities like the LCS and the LCK, who hold the most amount of team slots to get in because of their dominant past. So it'd be nice to see a couple come in there and overthrow it. Again, that's going to be happening all week, Tuesday through Friday next week. And with all the teams will play each other, and they'll have the play-in bracket, and the finals will move on. And then pretty much from there, it's almost an everyday thing. MSI will start up. So pretty exciting stuff there. Other news we had just this past weekend, we had another beta run to conclude the 2-week beta of XDefiant. XDefiant was a game that Ubisoft put out. Anyone that if they've been following gaming, Ubisoft has been putting in some very, very serious work in the past probably 6 months. They kind of got slapped in the face a bit after Far Cry 6 came out, with just people talking about how lackluster their games have been. Like, they're pretty much were just pushing out AAA titles and not really pushing out good games. So Ubisoft, who owns a bunch of brands, owns Tom Clancy's brand most notably, it was time for them to take a step back, kind of readdress what was happening in their own universe, and push out a different product for a change. They had a really big week this week with some really big announcements. XDefiant was the 2-week-long beta that they just had. A lot of streamers played it. It is a very fast-paced Black Ops style multiplayer. No skill-based matchmaking. Very run and gun. Very fast. Time to kill very fast.
So Ox would be terrible at it.
I mean, I was terrible at it. I played with my brother, We had a lot of fun. We got absolutely run on a couple of games, but
Okay.
we had a lot of fun with it. Like the run and gun was nice. To have the run and gun again was just great. I missed that. I didn't realize I missed it, even though I'm not really great at it. But I didn't
Mhm.
realize how much it was nice to just pick up an SMG and just barrel into a fight and just quickly, 1, 2, 3 enemies, right?
Right.
And feel good.
Is J2K going to make a comeback?
You're
Oh,
gonna have
gosh.
to. I think I sent both of you guys. If you check your emails, I sent you guys both
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
code for it to play, but I didn't realize I had it. I was doing the typical streamer thing, looking through, not reading my emails properly, and it didn't read the part that said, "Here's 5 friend codes," right? So,
Oh wow.
and yeah, so that was dumb me, but I only got to play it for a couple of days. It was a lot of fun though. The beta was a little janky, like their progression system didn't work. But again, it's a beta. It's not
Mhm.
even near a full game yet. It will be free to play, so you don't have to worry about paying for
Oh,
it.
that's wild.
It'll have a battle pass, as all games do now. Again, mostly cosmetic. There's no pay to win. Some of the skins are kind of cool in it. Again, it grabs from the different Ubisoft universes. So you've got like Splinter Cell agents, you've got Watchdog agents, you have the Division agents, you have Army of Two, I believe, is in
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
and there's a couple others that are like Ghost Recon with more potential, because there are more potential with a bunch of different Ubisoft games.
I heard Assassin's
Um,
Creed was in there. Was it in the beta?
It wasn't in the beta,
Okay.
so that could be a different champion that comes out. So I thought it was fun. Is it a game I'll play all the time? Probably not. I'm not good at games with like that.
Hey, buddy.
But
I get you.
my brother had really great things to say about it, and he is very good at run and gun games, and he was very good in the beta. He's dropping 30, 40 bombs, so he was enjoying it a lot. He said it felt very natural with a controller. It was great for him. Button mapping he could use. It was all ready to go for the beta. You could, map your buttons on your controller. Your controllers could work with your PC.
Mhm.
You can adjust your settings the way you need them to be. It was a good game. It was a really, really solid beta for, and it very well could be the COD killer. I think if it comes out and COD doesn't change, I'd be worried about it, because
Mhm.
people like it. They don't like skill-based matchmaking anymore. People are begging to get rid of it.
Oh, and fun fact, apparently, the new Call of Duty that came out last year is going to be a 2-year Call of Duty, so they're not even making a new one this year.
Yeah, well, they had to space them out. At this point, you may as well make them like sports games, like Call of Duty 2K14. Like, it was just the way
So-
they were recycling it.
Them not making a game this year and this new game claiming to be the COD killer coming out.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing this stuff. I want it to happen. Like,
I think-
I've been waiting on the COD killer. I've been waiting on the WoW killer.
That's you know
you're,
what?
You're gonna keep
The
dreaming
WoW
on the WoW
killer,
killer.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The WoW killer, now that Dragonflight came out, I used to think the WoW killer was right around the corner, but Dragonflight was and still is
Mhm.
so good. I don't know that in my gaming career we'll ever see a WoW killer. I just don't think there is a game like it. Blizzard could
That's not-
lose every single game on the planet that they own and be on the verge of bankruptcy, but WoW will hold that pedestal.
I bet if
for them.
Shonen Jump made
it's-
an MMORPG, it would kill WoW.
But like it's so like everybody thinks that the Riot MMO is going to be a WoW killer, but I don't know. But it's just the fact that these big names like Call of Duty, like they get away with just some of the stuff that everybody wants them to improve on, right? Like Call of Duty, no one just wants this copy and paste game every single year, and like everybody wants World of Warcraft to just they know that they can use like Unreal Engine 5 and just make the graphics insanely good instead of like RuneScape is on par with World of Warcraft nowadays. Like
Old school
like
RuneScape.
it's and it's to a point. Well, I've seen like videos. I watched a clip where Asmongold like watched this video of this dude just like he is a game designer and he went in and he like redid like an orc warrior with like all the abilities or something.
Yeah,
and it was insane looking. It was
So,
magnificent.
one of the scary things was when Wrath of the Lich King Classic dropped, it had a higher population than almost every single MMO out there combined.
Mhm.
And all Blizzard had to do was re-release an old game. That was it. Like, I'm telling you, Call of Duty went back and said, here's Black Ops.
Yeah, they would destroy
Yeah,
it.
don't even worry about making a game for 2 years. You just made $1 billion. Like, we just want to go back, but we want to go forward. You need to take what you had back then that worked when gaming was simpler. Not everything needs ray tracing. If you can find me a streamer and a gamer that actually plays multiplayer with ray tracing on, send them my way. Because, like, nobody plays the game with ray tracing on. It's the first thing I disabled. Even though I have the PC to run it, there's just no need for it. Your eyes can't render it. It's like, oh, I've got this 5K ray tracing. Cool, man. Your eyes can only see so much.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it
not like
doesn't
I'm
matter.
using the puddle of water on the
Yeah.
ground to see an enemy coming around the corner. Like, that's not
Yeah.
happening.
Like, nobody cares about that. Half the time they put their graphics to low so that they can run and kill people quicker. Like, it's minute, right? Just
Speaking of
make the game,
multiplayer,
take the budget out of making it look good and put it into making the game good, and stop recycling the same weapons. Man, I'm so tired of the same weapons.
they're
and it's-
re-releasing weapons too.
It's one of them weird things. It's like, it's almost, I don't see another new idea coming in the gaming world, right? So
Yeah.
you have to make what's been done really well and do it better, right?
Yeah.
Like, and what was the game Amazon came out with? New
New World.
right? And they're like,
New
we're
World.
going to take the best thing from every MMO that there is, and we're going to combine it, and we're going to make the greatest MMO that there is. And
Yeah.
it did not
Now,
happen.
New World isn't bad by any means. It does have a big player base, and they have improved a lot, but it's still nowhere near the WoW
Yeah,
killer.
yeah, it's
People call it
nothing.
the WoW killer, but it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Another game that has learned from its mistakes is going to be one I'm going to talk about right now is Diablo 4. They took, everyone was like, I don't want another Diablo game that is the same as every other Diablo game. And so they decided, you know what? We're going to pack it all up. We're going to completely overhaul it, but we're going to give you the core Diablo experience. So at its core, Diablo is still a run around, kill mobs of enemies, get loot. But now there's crafting. And I'm not talking like your jewel crafting and gem crafting. It's always been like, no, I mean like in-depth crafting, armor, weapons, gems, enchants, runes, sets. It's really in-depth. Mounts, open world. The game is completely online. There is no offline mode. A lot of people are upset with that, but I think they'll come to like it. The time of gaming offline is gone. It's dead. It left when Diablo 2 left.
Right.
There's just, everyone's like, but I play offline games, but you don't really. Because yes, you are playing independently in your own world. Genshin Impact is a perfect example. Someone had this debate with me where they said Genshin Impact is an offline game. My brother, the thing that says click to connect when you log into the game, that's you connecting to a world. Yes, the world is your own, and you are the only person in that world, but you are connected to a server. If the server drops, you drop. Like, offline games don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Not unless you're buying like Jedi Survivor, but shit, I think even that you still have to connect to a service. Like, it's just the way it's, people don't realize the technology they need to run offline games. When you run an offline game, you completely rely on your system and not anything else. When you connect to a cloud service or you connect to another service, you're taking that load off of your PC and running it through their service, which is why we get upset when things don't work. But anyways, I digress. I could go on about that for a long time.
I got a quick question for you guys. It's something that I always like to think about. So one of the biggest problems, and this is League, World of Warcraft, and everything like that, is, we constantly get patches and adjustments to, make things either that are meta or super overpowered, bring them down, make things that are weaker, bring them up. And I know it's huge in like League, to where like a good example is Azir, right? Azir is super underplayed in solo duo and just regular League of Legends, but Riot can't buff him because if they do, he is extremely powerful in
pro
pro
play.
play. Like he's
Yeah.
already insanely strong in pro play. But if and they're like, oh man, we really want people to play Azir more. Let's buff him. The balancing there is it's just off. Same thing, I'm sure with World of Warcraft, you can attest to it more than I can. And I was like thinking about like what can fix this stuff, because in League of Legends things are broken all the time and they get abused and things are so weak, and it's like, man, people can't enjoy the game this way. To the point where I almost wish that like pro players have their own separate, like, I get League plays on different patches, but I feel like they should just have their own separate League of Legends in general.
Yeah.
Like a pro patch or something.
Yes, but not
And
even a pro
that's-
patch, more just like, hey, this is League of Legends for the consumer. This is League of Legends for pro players, right?
Yeah.
And that
And-
way they can buff Azir to all be hell, and then Azir in the pros league is not buffed at all.
And I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because it brings me into what I was going to talk about with Riot, because Riot is the first company to do this. So the biggest issue with the patching and the moving of abilities and stuff like that is simply based on exactly what you just said. If there is a pro scene in it, the players that play it at a level that we just don't understand will abuse it. It's done in WoW when they buffed rogues.
Yep.
They're all that was in arenas were rogues. 3 rogues. It was like, what? Why? Or 3 Death Knights, and you were like, you can't kill it. You can't stop it. Right? It's so broken. It then forces the change on everybody else. And if you're just mediocre at the game and you know that this is why you're really good and how you sustain yourself in the game, well, now that's out the window. You got to relearn your class again. So
Yeah.
with Valorant Prime or the new Valorant, I talked about it before, where they were having that new client that was going to come in. That is exactly what it is. It will be an independent client of independent Valorant, run completely separate from the actual game. This is where the pro players will play. This is where the people playing competitively will play. The champions will stay balanced to the way they are unless something gets out of hand, and they'll tweak it. But to everyone else playing just the normal Valorant game, you're not going to see those changes. You're not going to feel those differences, because the players you're good at here are still going to be those same players. But if you're playing in the competitive scene, those changes aren't going to matter, because they're going to be completely separate from everything else.
Right.
So it's another feature that I think will probably get moved into League of Legends eventually. It's easy with Valorant because there's like 15 champions, right?
Yeah. That's really cool. I'm so glad that
there's
that's happening.
150.
Yeah, there's 100.
It requires a whole other gaming studio to do
Yeah.
the League of Legends one. Like,
Yeah, and it's just like something like I think about, like, it's like, man, how can they balance things correctly? Like, you'll get a patch where, oh my god, all of a sudden, like, Poppy or some random person is doing insane damage, then it gets fixed.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, man, like, I wish, how can you not balance it? It's been this long and you still can't balance it just right. And I'm glad they're doing that, because, like, I mean, in World of Warcraft, like, let's say you're an arcane mage and no one's picking you up past, LFRs, because arcanes are at the bottom of the DPS charts. But, like, hey, if, Blizzard were to buff it, then everyone is taking supreme advantage of it in pro play and races the world first and all that stuff.
exactly.
So, like, it's, I almost wish that was the standard.
I
Just separate.
remember the Fire Mage break, and they ran a world's first run
Mhm.
where 17 of the members in the raid were mages.
Yeah.
Or fire mages. Like, it was so broken. It didn't matter. They were the highest DPS. You killed the fastest. All you need, the healer, the 2 tanks, and 17 mages. So it was stupid. But I do have to kind of move along here. The next one I was going to talk about was Diablo. Speaking of Diablo, they are going to be having a Stress the Servers weekend, May 12th through May 14th. They are inviting everyone across the planet to absolutely bombard their servers until they drop. They probably will drop. That is the point of this test. It is to absolutely stress the living crap out of the servers for its launch coming up in June. So if you do play and you get a character to max level, you're going to get a little token of their appreciation, which is a wolf pup sleeping in a basket that you can add to the side of your mount. If you do happen to kill the world boss, which will spawn every 2 hours instead of once a day, you will get a horn for that you can use on your mount. That will be a horn from the world boss. Just some tokens to say thank you for playing, reaching max. My brother's extremely excited. He's already developed. I think he's already got a group ready to go for the server run. But yeah, 12th to 14th, check it out, Diablo 4. If you have the Blizzard client, it will just automatically become available to you. All you have to do is click download, and you'll get the Diablo 4 beta. And try it out. It's a lot of fun. The classes are great. The Necromancer is back again with the new abilities and a lot of fun there. There's also a bunch of leaks coming out for it that I haven't looked into because I don't buy into all the fan fiction right away. And the last thing I was going to talk about was going back to the Ubisoft was recently this past weekend was Division Day. And basically it was celebrating 5 years of the Division. For those that haven't played the Division, it is a PvE game there is a PvP zone in it, but it's a PvE game, third-person shooter in the streets of Washington, D.C. and in New York, where it's like a disease has taken over the United States. That was a planned attack. And now the city is run by, goons and pretty much what the world would look like if it got taken over by Donald Trump supporters. Sorry. And basically the Division is tasked to go and sweep up the streets of DC in the Division 2, and Division 1 is New York. But with the Division Day, they launched a monstrous patch which overhauled completely the Division 2. It was a big patch. It cleaned up the game with a new graphics engine. It fixed a lot of bugs. It didn't make the enemies bullet sponges. It had some new builds to it, some new classes to it, and some other exciting guns and armor mods that you could get. I picked it up because the discounts were so heavy on the Division. Like you could get Division 2 for $9. You can get the complete Ultimate Edition for $28. It was wild. So I picked up a chance to, because I love PvE games. I love games where you can squad up with your friends and just kill enemies, right? Like it's cool. There's no real people shooting back at you, right? It's not unbalanced in a certain way, but it's still difficult. So if any of you guys want to play Division 2, I'm here, find me. But I picked it up, and with that, they also announced something called the Division Homeland, and this is going to be a PvEVP. Now, this has been gaining some popularity. There are a few games out there like it, one of them most notably called The Cycle. That's available on Epic. And basically what it is you will have a brand new area where you will drop in with your team, and it will be PvE where you'll fight hordes of people, and but at the same time there are other squads that have dropped in with you, and you will also in turn have to fight them for a chance to extract with your loot. So it's kind of like Extraction.
I'm about to say like Extraction for Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's like the Call of Duty Extraction thing, but done from the Division. And let me tell you, the Division was made for this kind of game. Every other game, I think, tried to model this off of the Division, but I have been waiting for this because the Division was made for this kind of gameplay. The weapons, the third person, the cover system, this is what you want for a PvEVP. There'll be weapon caches, but there'll also be a safe way to extract. It's not going to be Tarkov hard. I always say Tarkov is one of the hardest games to extract in.
So hard.
There's going to be multiple ways to get out. Either way, I'm in the beta for that. I have 5 codes. I haven't decided who are getting the 5 codes yet, but I do have 5 codes for it to play with people. When the beta goes live, I will let people know, and we'll divvy up the codes, or we'll give away codes, or I'll, give them to some good friends. But yeah, it'll definitely be a good one. It'll be fun. and I think a lot of people will enjoy that. It's a new free to play game. It's free. You guys are gonna love it. That
I
takes
like
place
that
in the
word.
Division universe. So I think that's gonna bring a ton of hype to the game as well. So I think Ubisoft trending in the right direction. You know, again, talking about going into the past, fixing up what they had, making it new again. And right now, I've been thoroughly enjoying my playthrough of the Division 2 with all of its fixes and all of its fun stuff that's going on with it. The game just measurably more user friendly than it has ever been.
Awesome.
So
That's cool. I'll
yeah,
look
and
at
that's
that. I like
that's-
PvE. I don't like PvE as much, but I do enjoy PvEVP.
Yeah.
PvP.
But before we head out, we had one last little fun topic we were going to get into, right? For the gaming section. And that was, what are you guys' bad gaming habits? This doesn't have to be specific. It could be something you do in game when you're playing. It could be, hey, I spend too much money. Anything gaming related, that's a bad habit of yours.
All right.
I got one. I'll go first.
I think I'm the worst person when it comes to, everybody always says, oh guys, we always have this person in the friend group that always suggests us play a new game. We all get this new game, then we don't only play it for 3 days and we stop playing. I'm that guy.
World of Warcraft. What?
Yeah.
I will hype up and I will get everybody in my friends group to play a game. The most recent and notable one was World of Warcraft, because I wanted to get a raid team together. And I had asked so many people. Yeah, so many people got World of Warcraft, bought back Wild Time and everything. And I think I played like 2 hours.
It was AFK.
And I just stopped.
Definitely.
Well,
Definitely.
now in my defense, I gathered a team of whatever we needed for a raid. And only like 4 people were playing out of the team of like 10, 11 that we needed. So, and like, for me, when it comes to World of Warcraft, I don't want to play and do a raid unless I know everybody in that raid. It's just how I am. Like, if I want to raid, I want to do it with my friends. But I am bad for getting my friends to play a game and then just stop playing that shit. And then on the turn side, they will ask me to play a game and I won't buy that shit.
You won't do anything. You'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna do
I
it.
just won't buy it.
Someone said bad gaming habit: playing a game for so many hours and then never beating it.
Oh, that's
That's
the
the
worst.
worst.
one.
That's the worst.
worst
one.
one. Oh
I
my
They're like,
love
God.
it.
50 hours.
Thank you for saying that.
You go 50
Mhm.
hours deep, and you're like, you only got like 5 hours of the game left,
Yeah.
and you're like, you just drop
Breath of the Wild, dude.
Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild's so good,
Okay,
I
so
always stop it.
so good.
I still have not beat Breath of the Wild. I'm on the last boss.
What is wrong with y'all?
And I have people that have beaten the game that are just beating the game again for their 5th playthrough because the new one's coming out next month. And
I
I'm
can't
just like
wait.
me sitting here like la la la. You know, like,
What's this longsword do?
I think for me, it's always been like I won't complete. Like I'll probably, now that I know like a new one's coming out, I'll go complete it because like it's not like I never want it to end. I did the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. Like I love Kingdom Hearts, but I never beat the first one. When I found out Kingdom Hearts 2 was coming out, I beat the first one.
Yeah.
Never beat the second one. Then I heard Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't. But now I have not completed Kingdom Hearts 3.
yeah.
But if they
I'm the
announce
same
Kingdom
way.
Hearts 4, I would go buy a PS3 right now and finish Kingdom Hearts 3 or whatever it's called.
right.
Bloatergate said Elden Ring was that for him. Elden Ring's
Yeah.
long though.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't even know how
Elden
to beat
Ring is-
Elden Ring. Like,
Hey, listen.
what's the story?
I don't even care
mean-
about how long it is. I care about how hard it is. All right.
Like,
Yeah.
Fuck
the
that
thing
game.
is, well, okay, but the
False.
thing is, once you're good at Elden Ring, like I'm really bad at really hard video games. That's why I love playing games on like story mode or like adventure mode because
Why is everyone saying Breath of the Wild?
like it's just easy.
What is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, dude.
But for
Yeah, finish
me,
it.
like Elden Ring, you get better at it. Like I have 2 characters that I think one of them is well into the 200 level. And I know that's not saying much for people that have like 500 plus level characters. And the other one's like 190. And like I just like going around in Elden
Okay.
Ring and just fighting things that are just gonna dice me up.
But this is
Like-
my thing. I can't properly block someone in Super Smash Brothers, and you expect me to dodge Godric Gryffindor's fucking huge ass hammer coming down
With the 7 strike combo.
Yeah, dude. Like you can't. I'm the dude that fought the horse in the beginning 18 times and then quit after that because I couldn't beat him because I thought he was the first boss.
Yeah, you know how many people did that? They fought the horse because they thought the cavalier was the first thing you needed to fight.
Yeah, but
They,
I mean,
you
it's
know they
like,
did that to troll. Like they
like-
had to.
yeah, you come out, you got a motherfucker calling you maidenless. Well, you know, nobody can take that kind of disrespect. And then you got this dude traveling around on a horse, and you're already mad somebody called you maidenless. Of course, you're gonna go fight him. Okay.
All right, Jake, what's yours?
So I have this really bad habit of when us as friends do start a game, I get super grindy, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I get way too far
Yeah.
ahead of everyone else.
And that's part of the reason we quit.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, Jake's already got
Yeah.
Master Castle Sword over here,"
Yeah.
and we're still day one stuff, and
And-
it is tilting.
And the worst part is, it's like he doesn't intentionally ever mean to do this. Something always happens in his life to where he just gets all this free time out of nowhere. We had
Mhm.
this great idea to start our own PvP ARC server this time, right?
Yeah.
And it just so happened to coincide with a time like I forget what you were doing.
I think I got
Switch-
like a week off or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. He had time off of work. So here it is. Jake's got 200 fucking hours on the server and and everybody else is at like 8.
Yeah. Like
That was-
I was over everyone combined.
That was Lost Ark for me. I was so into that game. I have like 400 hours into the game, max level character, pushing max tier, and I'm like, who wants to play? And everyone's like, but you're 80 levels higher. And I'm like, right.
I felt so bad
Right.
for Eddie that time y'all were playing New World. This is like,
Oh yeah.
'cause
I had to
you
wait for it. I out leveled him just doing like side quests because I was waiting for him to do the main quest, and I still got like 10 levels above him.
Yeah.
left him in the dust.
I am super I get guilty of that one sometimes. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right,
That
Frozen,
was
what's your curse?
Okay, so on top of both of yours, which you're both guilty for me, I am guilty of continuously giving Blizzard my money.
yeah,
I need to stop.
But you're paying checkbooks over there.
Yeah, I need to stop giving this damn company my money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I get hooked in by a game that I haven't played in so long. It'll be
Mhm.
like, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh,
Yeah.
a piece of candy.
Dude,
and I'm just like,
those trailer drops
stop.
get you every time.
I know.
Those cinematics, they're so good. They pull you in.
I'm
And-
I'm the worst for it. Like,
Oh,
If
and
y'all
look-
haven't canceled your subscription to WoW, go ahead and do it. It's trash. It's
Yeah.
trash. It's always going to be trash. Go ahead and cancel it. We know it's
Oh,
been
yeah.
coming out of your
it's
credit
not
card
gonna
for
be
17
trash.
months.
It's just not gonna change.
But
And
anybody
that's-
anybody listening next expansion that drops, I'm probably gonna try to get everybody in a raid group
Yeah.
together. So
We're
We're
gonna
gonna do
refuse.
it. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
We're going to
Like,
refuse.
You say you're gonna refuse, but we're all gonna do it. We already
Yeah,
know we will.
we're all gonna pay $79.99 for the expansion, and then we're all gonna get a
Yeah.
month of WoW
Dude,
time,
I've
and then we're gonna play 1 month, and that's it. And that's all they need.
I've
That's all
bought
they
every
need.
single. The last time I played WoW full time was Mr. Pandaria. I've bought every single expansion since then, and I probably have less than 10 hours of gameplay through all of them.
You know who I feel the worst for? Destiny players. They
Oh my
literally spend
God.
hundreds of dollars on this game that is just recycled garbage.
Yeah.
Like every single
Oh,
time.
Destiny 2,
But-
yeah. Destiny 2
But just wait, guys, because Galahorn is back. It's been back the whole time, you fools. Like,
Oh,
it's in the game.
for the people in the chat, if it ever says the Anime Rift podcast, that's our producer. That's Hawkeye. So when that text ever comes by, that's Hawkeye doing it.
Yeah,
But-
he's our producer. And he's watching over our backs because we can't always see all the stuff that's happening. But we really appreciate your.
Hawkeye, don't tell us that you play Ark because you're gonna make us get
Yeah,
back into
but
it.
it's a yearly thing for us where we'll fall into the Arc grind.
Yeah,
But Arc 2 is coming out. Heard it's trash. That's fine.
So we get it.
If it's
Yeah.
a single player game, dude,
Upset.
everything wild card is getting dashed off for me.
but yeah, no,
Oh.
that concludes the video gaming the video gaming tirade there.
Hey, I'm good. I'm good, guys. I have nothing more. I think we covered a lot. We got
We
through
did.
a lot.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Well,
Do
yeah.
y'all have any closing remarks?
Yeah,
any
closing
statements?
remarks before we take this thing home.
One thing I got to say is I'm hopping on here. I'm gonna go play some TFT. Carry
going
Daryl in the
Disney
bot
World.
lane, and next time we're gonna come to you guys live from the White House or something. So
Yeah,
for that.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Konawa
somewhere.
Village.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Konoha.
It's. I mean, it'll be live from Trump Tower. Who knows?
Live from
We're gonna
Orochimaru's hideout.
I mean, the
something.
phone's been ringing the whole time, and it's just the LCS over and over and over again. Like it's just I had to put them on the do not call list. But
Hey,
No?
we we're looking, we're trying. Send us out, buddy.
all right. Well, everyone, thanks again for our second live stream test. This has been awesome. Thank you for the people that commented and send in different questions or say different things. It was awesome to respond live to you guys. It'll give a great added context to the podcast. Maybe more people join in next time. Tell your friends, tell your wives, tell your young daughters, your young sons, whatever.
Pause.
Tell your mistresses. Okay?
Tell your mistresses, tell your dearest Maries.
Tell your
All right.
hoes.
Tell everybody that the Anime Rift podcast is now trending. All right, we're making it. We're trending it. It's
Joe
beautiful.
Rogan, yeah, step aside.
We're way better than Joe Rogan and DMT. All right,
Yeah.
we are the drug. And thanks for being a part of this. It's an amazingly awesome growing podcast. Muscles Mice approved.
Mm-mm.
And
Mhm.
I mean, this is why we're here, right? As always, we are here for your drives to work. We are here for your long drives for work. We are here to put you to sleep at night and get ready with you in the morning. Most importantly, we are here for all your anime, gaming, manga, and pop culture needs. So from Ox, from Jake, and from myself, Frozen, thanks for listening. We love you, and we'll see you next time on the Anime Rift.
Stay sexy.
Ciao. Are we still live?
I don't know. Still alive.
We still live?
We
Cut!
still live.
Hawkeye, cut it!
Cut it.
Hawkeye, cut it!